this evening. This week's focus is on balance and stability. So balance both left and right of the body, also forward and back of the body. And kind of from a more mental side of it, kind of our balance poses in yoga allow us to gain a little bit more focus and get a little bit more centered. So the idea is if you're concentrating so much on your balance, it's going to be really hard for your mind to go elsewhere. So you're really kind of connecting that mind-body relationship. So it's a really nice thing to do. If you do find your head wandering or you're having a stressful enough day, if you just come into a couple of your balance poses, balance sequences, it really allows you to kind of come back into the moment and into yourself. And so kind of more from the mental point. From the physical point of view, obviously, the more balanced we are, the less likely we are to develop those little niggles. So we looked at our lower legs last week. So if we have little imbalances in the lower legs, we're generally going to find that into the hips and vice versa. So if we have instabilities in the hips, they're generally going to radiate down into the lower legs and also into the spine. Okay, so if we're landing a little bit funny, more so on one side than the other. And those little niggles can just be maybe we slipped off a step one day and we didn't even think twice about it. Okay, so it mightn't have been an enormous kind of accident that developed, that started that niggle. But it's that niggle, the more then we tend to kind of nurse that niggle, the more we can overcompensate on the other side. So we're trying to equate or balance what's happening on one side and the other so that we're not doing that kind of compensating one side to the other. So I could talk a lot more about it, but I'm going to try to talk you through how to make the balance more difficult and how to make it easier when we're actually in the poses, okay? Because I spoke a lot on Tuesday before we actually did the class, so it's a lot to take on. So as we're in the poses, I'll give you little kind of cues as to how to maybe challenge yourself a little bit more or how to make it a little bit more accessible if it's just not feeling so good this evening. All right, so we're going to start in a nice easy cross-legged. And again, make it as comfortable as you can. If you need to put padding under the knees, if you need to sit up maybe on a rolled up towel or another mat, just to prop the pelvis forward so that you can really engage with those core muscles. We want to sit as tall and as long into the spine as we can. We're going to open the palms and then inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling, and then exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades. And we do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch, maybe take the gaze up as we inhale, interlock fingers, and then exhale, press forward and release. And we do that 1 more time. We're trying to bring as much strength into those arms and shoulders as we inhale and then release as we exhale. Lovely. From here, we're going to extend both legs out in front. You might need to shift the flesh off the sit bones just so you can get nice and grounded here. And again, sit nice and tall in the spine. We're drawing the toes toward the face. We're going to hug the right knee in just until the foot's in line with the left knee. Shift the hips forward to meet it so we can maintain that lovely length in the spine. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Extend the left arm out, wrapping it around the right arm or the right leg. And we're going to hug it nice and tight into the body until we feel that right hip release. If you can, so you can keep that foot extended out there if that's as far as feels good, or we can bend that left knee and bring the heel nice and close to the sit bone, but just make sure both sit bones are grounded evenly and we're not peeling off that right sit bone. We're going to inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right. We're going to rest the heel of that right hand nice to the lower back. As we inhale, sit as tall as we can, lengthening through the spine, and as we exhale, we're going to twist from the lower back into the rib cage, into the chest, and take the gaze all the way over the right shoulder. So I want you to think about lengthening, creating space in the spine as we inhale, and then working into that space as we rotate through the spine on the exhale. So work with your own breath here, continuing to hug the right leg into the body. So we're really getting a lovely release into that right glute. So we're going to do a little bit into releasing the hips so that we can really engage with them when we go into our balance sequence. So there's a method to our madness here. Creating a little bit of space into the spine. See if we can draw the belly button in and create a little bit more tension to that core. 1 more breath here. And then slowly inhale back to center. Small little micro twist to the left, just release. And then back to center again. We're going to extend that left foot out fully. We're going to hug the right knee in, and then we're going to rest the sole of that right foot to the inner leg, wherever it lands comfortably. We're going to bring that right hand behind us, fingertips point back. And then inhale the left arm up As we exhale, we're going to press the hips toward the ceiling. As we press the right knee, left foot, right hand firmly into the ground. I want you to really actively reach back through those left fingertips. See if we can press the hips a little bit more toward the ceiling, and then notice if we're feeling a wee bit of compression in the lower back. I want you to imagine someone's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to contract or resist, taking the pressure off that lower back, really pressing that left foot, right hand into the ground. One more breath here. And then slowly release it back to center. Lovely. We're going to extend that right foot out to meet left. Coming back to the start again, if you need to remove the flesh off the sit bones, get nice and comfy here. We're going to hug the left knee in just into the left foot in line with the right knee. Shift those hips forward to meet the heel. And again, maintain that lovely length and strength in the spine. We're going to cross the left leg over the right this time. Extend the right arm out, wrapping it around the left leg. Feel that release in the left glute. Again, you can stay here, just drawing that right toe toward the knee, keeping that right leg active, or we can bend the right knee, bring the heel nice and close to that sit bone. And again, just make sure both sit bones are grounded evenly here. So nice and balanced in the hips. We're going to inhale, left arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left. We're going to rest the heel of that left hand nice and close to the lower back. Inhale, sit tall through the spine, drawing the belly button in. And as we exhale, we're going to twist from the lower back into the rib cage, into the chest, and take that gaze all the way over the left shoulder. So we're inhaling, lengthening through the spine, and we're exhaling, working a little bit of twist and rotation. Work with your own breath here. Notice if you're falling back into that left hand. So that left hand, essentially, we should be able to take it away, but it's just there as a nice little aid to remind us to sit tall. So if we're not engaged in our core, we're going to find ourselves leaning into that left hand. So I want you to really draw that belly button in. See if you can engage those tummy muscles, engage those lower back muscles. Keep drawing that left leg in. One more breath here. And then slowly inhale back to center. Small little micro twist to the right, just to release. And then back to center again. If the right heel is tucked in, we're going to lengthen that leg out again. We're going to hug the left knee in, place the sole of the left foot nice and close to the inner leg, again, wherever it lands. Left hand behind us, fingertips point back, and we're going to inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, press the hips toward the ceiling. So we're pressing that left hand, left knee, right foot firmly into the ground. I want you to reach actively through those right fingertips. So again, almost imagining somebody's pulling you by your fingertips, somebody's holding you at the ankle. Press those hips a little bit more toward the ceiling. Feel that space into the front and side of the body. Again, try to engage the tummy muscles so that we're not crunching into that lower back. Feel that lovely release into the front of the hips. One more breath here. Really stretching through that right arm. And then gently lowering it back to sit. Excellent. We're going to crisscross at the ankles here. And then we're going to turn to the front of our mat if we're not there already. Coming onto hands and knees, onto all fours into our tabletop. Lovely. So shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. We're firmly pressing those hands into the ground. Feel those shoulders engage. Knees are about hip width distance apart. Again, your choice. If the knees feel crunchy, tuck the toes under. Otherwise, you can flatten them out. So whatever you wish. We're going to inhale, draw the gaze forward as we look up and arch through the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press actively into the ground, curl through the spine, and really tuck the chin to the chest. Continue with your own breath. Little cat-cow curls. A nicely wave-like motion through the full length of the spine, creating as much space, as much energy as we can. Maybe close down the eyes and just really enjoy how that movement feels, as opposed to getting too caught up with what it looks like. So just enjoy the movement, freeing up as much space as we can. Work with the breath. And again, really exaggerate the movement, particularly anywhere it feels tight or niggly. Maybe take an extra couple of breaths into that space. So use the movement to get that energy to where it's most needed for you. Last wave. And then leaning back in our tabletop. From here, We're going to come onto the ball of the right foot, just gently press away through that right heel. So just going to be gentle stretch into the back of the right leg. Pause here for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to swivel on the left knee, turning the body to the right side, and we're going to drop that right heel down, pressing the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. Left hand stays planted. We're going to bring the right hand to the waist, and then press the hips forward to the right side of the room, so we're feeling space here. If we're not, we might need to come up onto the fingertips, or we might need to come up onto a block. So I don't want you to collapse into the body. I want you to open into the front of the body and engage in the back of the body. From here, we're going to bend the right knee, and then we're going to lift that right knee up in line with the hip. Okay, so a little bit of balance here. So to make our balance more difficult, we want least points of contact to the earth. To make it easier, we engage with the earth a little bit more. So in this case, we only have 2 points. We have our hand and our knee. If we wanted to make it really hard, we could come up onto the fingertips, or we could float the fingertips off the ground. Okay, so if you're working with making the pose a little bit more difficult, that's where you go. So we're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. So we're really engaging with those hip muscles, particularly that glute med. And again, if we can, we're going to press that right foot back as far as we can. Keep the knee bent, and then inhale back to center, and then exhale, see if we can extend that right foot out. Inhale back to the start. Exhale, press that right foot back as far as we can. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, actively press out through that right foot. We're going to do that 3 more times. So again, as we work into our balance, we're also working a lot of strength into our hips here. If you can't extend the right foot out fully, just go in that direction. So lengthen that leg as much as we can, trying to keep the foot up in line with the hip as much as we can. Last one. And then gently release that right foot down. We're going to inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, extend that right arm overhead. Just get a nice little release into the right side of the body. Maybe take the gaze up toward the fingertips. Again, challenging the balance, or if that feels a little bit shaky, we can take the gaze to the mat. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing that right hand back to meet the left. We're going to swivel on the left knee, bring that right knee back into our tabletop. Same thing on the other side. We're going to step back onto the ball of that left foot, gently press away through the heel. So just get a nice little stretch, gentle, gentle through the back of that leg. So don't force it for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to swivel on the right knee this time, drop the left heel down, turning to the left side of the room. We're going to bring that left hand to rest in the waist, and again, press the hips to the left, draw that left shoulder back. So create space into the front of the body, engagement into the back. Again, choosing to stay on that right hand, or if we need to come up onto the fingertips or maybe onto a block, just make sure you get that space into the front of the body. Nice. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to bend the left knee, and then we're going to see if we can lift that left knee up in line with the hip. Looking back toward the left knee, it should be in line with the hip, so it's not out front, right in line. So we've got our shoulder, we've got our hip, and we've got our knee. And again, you can stay here if you don't want to bring the movement. So movement, again, is going to challenge our balance a lot more than holding stillness. So we're going to inhale here. As we exhale, press that left foot back as far as we can. Feel that lovely space into the front of the left hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale, extend that left foot fully out. Again, draw the toes toward the knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press it back, strong and controlled. Inhale, center. Exhale, extend. We're doing that 3 more times. Again, try to keep the foot up. If it drops down, again, you're still engaging that muscle, so don't give up on it. So the only way we're going to get better, we're going to get stronger, is if we keep trying. Again, once there's no pain, so fatigue or non-engagement of a muscle, we can work with. Pain, just go gently out of it so we figure out what's causing that pain. So again, listen to your body. Last one. And then gently release the left foot down onto the ground. We're going to extend the left arm up toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, reach that left arm overhead. See if we can brush the arm back in line with the ear. So we're still creating space into the chest. Again, if we want to challenge the balance, we're looking up toward the middle finger on the left hand, or if we feel a wee bit unstable, we can take a gaze to the ground. Hold it here, stretching through the fingertips, pressing the outer blade of that left foot into the ground for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release that left hand back to the ground, swivel on the right knee. We're going to bring that left knee back into meet right. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to walk those hands out in front, pressing the ground away. We're going to sit back toward the heels. So get a nice little bit of stretch between the shoulders into the heart. Rest the head down between the arms. It might rest in the mat, it might not. Just feel that release. Pressing back through the heels, maybe wriggling through the toes a little bit, finding a little bit of space into those feet. And then when you're ready, we're going to press the finger pads and knuckles into the ground, gently hover the knees off the mat, lift the hips toward the ceiling, and then slowly drop those heels down toward the ground, coming into our downward dog. So again, press the ground away. We're drawing the chest toward the mat. Feel that space between the shoulders. Feel the shoulder muscles engage. Looking back toward the knees, maybe even toward the belly. So try not to look forward and put stress in the neck. We're not going to be able to really lengthen that spine. I want you to really draw the belly button in. See if we can lift the hips a little bit higher, and then see if we can drop the heels a little bit lower. And then from here, just gently paddle it out. Nice and easy, right and left. And again, even just notice the imbalances from one side to the other. Notice if one heel is dropping a little bit easier than the other. What's happening? Is it a calf? Is it a hamstring? Is it a hip? Is it the foot itself? So again, really slowing down the movement so we can really touch in with what's going on with the body. And again, maybe it's not something we're going to fix in one yoga class, but even if we can acknowledge the imbalances and realize what we need to work on. From here, we're going to look forward between the hands, gently walk our way all the way to the front of the mat, coming through a nice deep forward fold. Let everything release here, head, neck, arms, gently bend to the knees, rest the belly onto the legs, feel that lovely release into the lower back. And then from here, tucking the chin in, we're going to slowly roll our way all the way up to stand, head comes up last. Excellent. We're going to make the rest of the class quite flowy this evening. Again, take a drink if you wish. At any time you feel like it, do. Just try not to stop mid-pose or mid-flow. Okay, so in our balance sequences, if you're finding them very challenging, my advice is not to give up. Okay, so the only way we're going to improve is to keep trying. Listen to my cues. A lot of them, if we're coming off a knee, it's going to make it more difficult. Drop down onto the knee if you need to. If you're shaking a lot in the pose, that means you're not really stable in it. So you're probably better dropping to the knee and then seeing if we can engage the core and then slowly coming back into it. So listen to your body. You want to feel strong and stable. And again, if you fall out, just come back in. Okay. We're going to start a little bit easy to start with, just flowing into the body. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart, hands to heart. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, dropping right knee down. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. As we exhale, lower those hips toward the ground. Inhale, lengthen tall, draw the belly button in. Exhale, gently lower. One more breath here. Excellent. Framing the left foot with both hands, coming off the right knee. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right into our plank. Inhale here, nice and strong. As we exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Elbows tucked in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, lift the chest forward as we draw the shoulders back. Exhale, press the ground away, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. So just create a little blood flow, through the body, into the legs, into the hips. So in order to engage with our stabilizing muscles, we need them to be also quite flexible and quite mobile. So if we're holding a lot of tension, it's going to be really hard. You could be over contracted, so it's going to be really hard to engage with them. So just a little flow to ease it in. Coming to stillness, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge with control. Slow, left foot to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, we're going to drop that left knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the right knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, release those hips toward the ground. Keep that right knee bent. Inhale, nice and tall, draw the belly button in. Exhale, release. One more breath here. Keep drawing those shoulders back. Lovely. We're going to frame the right foot with the hands. Coming off the left knee, step the right foot back to meet left. Nice strong plank here. Inhale. And as we exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog, walk it out. Again, keep that gaze back toward the knees, relax the head, relax the neck, maybe even give it a little shake to remind it to relax. Keep the hips lifted, keep drawing the belly button in, create as much space for that fold to happen. And then when you're ready, coming to stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge with control. Right foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round, we're going to develop a little bit on that sequence. Coming to the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, dropping right knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them over the left knee. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, pressing those hands into the leg. Exhale, release the hips. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Keep those tummy muscles engaged. We're going to bring the hands to heart. Inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to twist to the left, resting the right upper arm onto the left leg. Hands in prayer, per hands face forward, left elbow points toward the ceiling. We're going to press that right arm into the leg. See if we can draw the left shoulder back and really twist the body to the left, lifting the belly off the leg. Again, we can pause here for the next couple of breaths, continuing to bend into that left knee. If you want to challenge the balance, we're going to come off the right knee, press back through the right heel. Again, trying to get rid of any of the shakes. Engage the core, really press back through that heel, engage that right leg. And again, only if it feels good, otherwise stay in the knee. Work on the balance for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the right knee. Slowly turning back to the front of the mat. We're going to place both hands either side of the left foot, coming off the right knee. Step the left foot back to meet right into a nice strong plank. From here, we're going to come onto our forearms in our plank. Nice and slowly, keep those shoulders nice and strong. Shoulders over elbows, we're pressing the forearms and hands into the ground. We're going to bring the left forearm parallel to the front of the mat and gently come over onto our left hand side. Again, if this feels a little bit strong, you can always come onto that left knee, but keep pressing the hip toward the ceiling. Otherwise, we're on the outer blade of that left foot. Notice if the bums pop back, we're going to press the hips to the right side of the room. Inhale the right arm up. And again, we can stay here. If we want to challenge the balance a little bit more, we can lift that right foot off the leg as high as we can, but keep pressing the right hips toward the ceiling. If we want to challenge it a little bit more, we can take the gaze up toward that right hand. We're going to hold it here for 3. Lift the right foot for 2. And 1, gently release the foot. Release that right forearm back to the ground. Bring the left forearm parallel. Re-engage with those shoulder muscles. And when you're ready, we're going to press our way back up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Roll the heart forward. Untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away. Lift the hips. Downward dog. Walk it out. Nice and easy. Notice where the breath is at. Notice if you're holding it. Notice if it's caught up in the chest. Try to draw that breath deep down into the belly. And as you exhale through the nose, see if you can really engage those tummy muscles to press every last little bit of air out of the body. Coming to stillness here, we're going to inhale the right leg up. Looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge. Slow and controlled. Left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, dropping left knee down. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place those hands just above the right knee. And again, just notice here if we're dumping into the lower back, I want you to really draw that belly button in, protecting that lower back, nice and strong. We're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, lower those hips toward the ground. 2 more breaths here. Keep drawing those shoulders back. Keep drawing that belly button in. 1 more breath. We're going to inhale, hands to heart, and as we exhale, we're going to gently twist to the right, and we're going to rest that left upper arm onto the right leg. Hands in prayer, our hands face forward, right elbow points toward the ceiling. Keep bending into that right knee, so we're not back here. I want you to really feel that release into the front of the left hip. We're going to press the left arm into the leg, create a wee bit of space between the belly and the leg, and then see if we can draw that right shoulder back a little bit more, really opening the heart to the right side of the room. Again, we can stay here if you want to challenge it a little bit more. We can press into the ball of the left foot, gently lifting off the knee, pressing back through the heel, but continuing to bend into that right knee. Last little bit of challenge here. If we're feeling, okay, I've had enough, we can look to the ground. If we want to go a little bit more, look over that right shoulder, or maybe even up toward the ceiling. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release the knee. We're going to turn back to the front of the room. Placing both hands either side of the right foot, coming off the left knee. Step that right foot back to meet left. Again, nice strong plank here. Coming down onto the forearms. And again, at any stage you need to come to the knees, please do. Just keep the core strong and engaged, the spine nice and long. From here, we're going to bring the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Coming over onto the outer blade of that right foot. Maybe dropping down onto that right knee if we need. We're going to bring the left hand to the waist to start with. And I want you to really press the hips forward to the left side of the room and up toward the ceiling. So we're engaging both sides of the core here. Again, see if we can extend that left arm up toward the ceiling. If we want to challenge it a little bit more, we're lifting the left foot off the leg, drawing the left toe toward the knee. Maybe take the gaze up if it feels good. Hold it here. Keep pressing the left hip toward the ceiling. Try not to let that right hip drop. For 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release the foot. Release that left forearm back to the front of the mat, coming onto that right forearm. Again, feel strong in the shoulders, and when you do, press your way back into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward and tuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Again, relax. Relax the breath. Use the movement just to knead out the body. Notice if you're holding on to anything here and just really let it go in your downward dog. And again, feel free to come into your child's pose if downward dog feels a wee bit too much in between. Listen to your body, listen to those shoulders. Coming to stillness, we're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward, stepping left foot into lunge with control, right foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, exhale, hands to heart. You're going to love me by the end of this. Take a drink if you need it. We've got a third round of this, again, slight little add-on. So again, our balance sequence, very much connected to our core. So when it comes to balance, we need to be engaging with our core, and we also need to remember to breathe, really important. All right, coming to the front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Take a moment, catch your breath. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, we're going to keep that right hand grounded. Inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Press back through the right heel. If it feels a wee bit too much, you can drop to that right knee for 3. Gaze goes up for 2. And 1, left hand comes back to the ground, release onto the right knee. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. Exhale, release those hips to the ground. 2 more breaths here. Really engaging with the core as we inhale, releasing into those hips as we exhale. See if we can release a little bit more with each breath. Excellent. Hands to heart. We're going to inhale here as we exhale. Twist to the left. Rest that right upper arm onto the leg. Hands in prayer. Left elbow points toward the ceiling. Press that right arm into the leg. Draw the left shoulder back. Again, if we want to challenge it, we can lift off the right knee. Press back through the right heel. Hold it here. Maybe take the gaze over the shoulder or toward the ceiling. Continuing to bend into that left knee for 3. For 2. And 1, again, knee on or off the ground. We're going to lift that right arm off the leg, continuing to twist to the left of the room for 3, hold for 2, and 1, turning back to the front of the mat. We're going to frame that left foot with the hands, coming off the right knee if we're not there already. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right. Staying in our nice strong plank here. Dropping onto the forearms, again, with control. Coming onto the left forearm, we're going to turn the body to the right side of the room. So we're on the outer blade of that left foot. We're going to bring the right arm to rest, or right hand to rest on the waist. Again, we're going to start. You can keep the left knee on the ground, again, if this feels a wee bit too strong. We're going to press the hips toward the ceiling as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to gently lower the hips toward the ground. Press that left forearm strongly into the ground. Inhale, lift, press up. Exhale, gently lower. 3 more. So again, really pressing that left forearm into the ground so we're not collapsing into that left shoulder. Stay nice and strong. If it feels unstable, please drop to that left knee. 1 more. Excellent. Coming back to center, we're going to bring that right forearm back to the mat. We're going to bring the left forearm back to meet it. Again, re-engaging those shoulders. And when you're ready, we're going to press our way up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or if you're practicing chaturanga, chaturanga to the ground. Keep those elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Baby cobra or upward dog. Press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Press those feet into the ground. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Again, relax the head, relax the breath. Come to child's pose if you need a little break. If you don't know what child's pose is, we're dropping down onto the knees, resting the head down. So again, listen to your body. We're going to come to stillness here in our downward dog. And then inhale the right leg up, looking forward. Stepping right foot into lunge, slow and controlled. The left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, keep that left hand grounded. You can stay on or off that left knee. We're going to inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. Press that left arm into the ground. We're bending into that right knee, reaching through the fingertips and maybe take the gaze up. We want to challenge the balance, or down if we feel we need a wee bit more stability. Hold it here. Open the heart for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing that right hand back to meet left. We're going to rest the left knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart, interlock fingers, place them over the right knee, just above. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. Exhale, release those hips toward the ground. 2 more breaths here. Keep drawing the belly button in, keep drawing those shoulder blades together down the spine. 1 more breath. Bringing the hands to heart. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right, resting that left upper arm onto the right thigh. Hands pressed together, right elbow points toward the ceiling. Try to get that right knee stacked over the ankle if we can, so we're not sitting back and compressing into those hips. So nice release here. Press the arm into the leg. We're going to draw that right shoulder back, really turn the body to the right side of the room. And again, only as far as feels good. If it feels good here, we might want to challenge it and press the ball of that left foot into the ground, lifting off the knee, press back through the heel. Hold it here wherever we're at. Still creating that space between the belly and the legs, still opening the heart, and maybe take the gaze over the shoulder or toward the ceiling for 3, for 2, and 1. We can either stay on or off the knee. For the next bit, we're going to inhale that left arm off the leg, continuing to twist to the right, really challenging the pose here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently turn to the front of the mat. Placing both hands either side of the right foot, coming off the left knee if we're not there already. Step that right foot back to meet left. Nice strong plank here. When you're ready, we're going to come down onto the forearms, slow and controlled. Feel that stability. Pressing those elbows, those arms, those hands into the ground. We're literally pressing the ground away, engaging the shoulders. We're going to bring the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Coming on to the outer blade of that right foot as we turn to the left side of the room. Left hand rests in the waist. Again, we're pressing the hips toward the left. We're opening the heart, engaging that left shoulder back. We can stay here, or we can come down onto our right knee. We're going to inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, gently lower the hips just off the ground. Inhale, press up as high as we can go. Exhale, gently lower. 3 more. Two more. And don't be afraid to drop to that right knee if you do, particularly if you're feeling it in that right shoulder. 1 more. Well done. Bring that left forearm back to the ground. We're going to bring the right forearm parallel. Again, re-engage those shoulder muscles. When you feel comfortable, we're going to press our way back into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Open the heart, draw the shoulders back, press the feet into the ground. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Coming to stillness here, we're just going to take a little moment here. We're going to drop down onto the knees, bring the feet together, toes together, and allow the head rest down toward the ground. We're going to make a little pillow by padding one hand or one fist on top of the other, and just gently shift the hips side to side. Allow the breath relax, allow the heart slow down. Allow the body catch up with the breath catch up with the mind, until everything's in equilibrium. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring those hands back out in front. Slowly tuck the chin in, coming back up onto all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under. Again, feet are about hip-width distance apart. Press the ground away, lift the hips back into our downward dog. Again, actively press the ground away, draw the chest toward the mat. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to inhale the left leg up. And as we exhale, step that left foot forward into lunge. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Tough little sequences there. Again, take a drink if you need. I know I do, too much talking. Okay, so that was quite flowy. We're going to work quite a lot into our hip stabilizers and our lower leg and ankle mobility. So if we were at the classes last week when we were looking at our lower limbs, our single leg balances are excellent for engaging and mobilizing our lower legs and ankles. So particularly if we've got weak or instabilities within the feet or ankles, maybe we roll our ankles, maybe we suffer sprains quite regularly. These are really lovely sequences for that. Also for our hip stabilizers and bringing a little bit of balance from left to right. So again, we're going to meet at the front of the mat, but just make sure you have a little bit of space out in front. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart, palms face forward. We're going to inhale, a little bit of weight into that left leg. We're going to pick that right knee forward out in front. So landing on that left foot, just notice here if the left hip is kind of jumped to the left and our hips are kind of out of line, I want you to tuck that left hip in until those hip bones are directly in line. We can keep that right foot out there. If you wish, you can stay here. So this is challenging enough in itself, just maintaining those right angles at the hip, the knee, and the ankle. If you want to join me with a little bit of movement, we're going to inhale, pick the right knee up. And as we exhale, we're going to flip the palms back, press that right foot back as far as we can go. And when we can't go any further, we're going to gently hinge from the hips, drawing the chest toward the ground, lifting that heel as high as we can go. And then inhale, flip the palms forward. We're going to lift that right knee back out in front. Exhale, flip the palms back, press that right leg back, extend as much as we can, and then gently hinge at the waist. And then inhale, pick that right knee out in front. One more. Exhale, press it back. Again, if you fall out, just come right back in. Again, you're only going to get better the more we practice these. Try to find a fixed point out in front to fix your gaze. Next one, as we exhale, we're going to try to land on the ball of that right foot into a nice high lunge. So again, this is really good for our body awareness or our proprioception, how we feel our body in space. Locating that right foot without having to look. We're at a nice advantage here that we have a video, if you can see yourself. So I'll do check in with it, okay? Just see how your posture looks, how those feet placement work. Our hips are face forward here. We're going to bring the hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, lower into those hips, we're going to drop the right heel down, setting up for warrior two legs. So see if that left heel is bisecting the arch of the back foot. We're bending into the left knee. Left knee is tracking over the middle toe. And then we're going to extend those arms out in front, palms face down. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the front leg, bring arms together overhead, palms together, gaze goes up. Exhale, bend into left knee, warrior two lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, bend into left knee, warrior lunge. Continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance, we're following the middle finger of that left hand with the gaze. So again, just mobilizing and activating in one. Last one. We're going to meet in our warrior. And then from here, we're going to step that right foot forward a little bit. Bring the right hand to the waist. We're going to reach that left arm out in front and then touch down toward the mat. Again, if you have a block, you might use it here. So you can have it toward the front of the mat. Again, you might need it at all. So fingertips to the mat to start with. We're going to pick that right foot up. Opening the hips to the right side of the room. Keep that right foot nice and active. So if we want a little bit more height, We can bring that left hand to rest on the block at its lowest level or at its highest level. Gaze is to the ground. Again, if you really want to challenge it, you can take the gaze to the right, or if you want to really challenge it, you can draw that right shoulder back and take the gaze to the ceiling. Again, I'm not quite there tonight. I'm a wee bit better than Tuesday. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently, we're going to release back onto that right foot, into our warrior legs. Engage the core. We're going to bring the left hand to the waist, settling in for our warrior. Extend both arms out, and when you're ready, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of that right foot, and then slowly we're going to step the right foot up to meet left, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Second side. Again, if you use the block for the last one, maybe have it to the right of the mat for the next sequence. And again, starting with just a little bit of space out front. So toward the front of the mat, but not quite at the front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, palms face forward, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Notice if the ribs are flaring, see if we can draw the belly button in and really engage with the tummy and the lower back. A little bit of extra weight into that right foot. We're going to inhale, pick the left knee forward out in front. And again, notice if that right hip has jumped to the right, we want to tuck it back in. So nice level hip bones here. Again, stay here if that feels good, if this feels challenging enough. And it is, trust me. If you want to bring a little bit of movement, we're going to inhale, pick the left knee up a little bit. And as we exhale, flip the palms back, press that left foot back as far as we can go. And we can't go any further. We're going to hinge at the hips, at the waist. Draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, lift the heel toward the ceiling. And then inhale, flip the palms forward, lift that left knee out in front. And then exhale, flip the palms back as we press that left foot back and gently hinge the body forward. Again, find that point of focus, something that's not moving out in front. Work with your own breath here. Notice how it feels comparing to the other side. Notice if it feels a little bit more stable. Maybe it feels a little bit more shaky, like myself. Last one forward. And this time, as we exhale it back, we're going to land on the ball of that left foot, trying to land in a nice high lunge here. Adjust the feet if you need to. So we're feeling that nice little release into the hips. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together to heart. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, sink the hips as we bend into that right knee. Dropping that left heel down, we're going to set up for warrior 2 legs. So again, right heel bisects the arch of the back foot. Outer blade of that left foot really pressed into the ground, bending into the right knee. That knee is tracking over the middle toe. So if the hips are tight, that knee is going to want to track to the left. We're trying to engage the right glute to keep that hip nice and open and that knee nice and stable. Extend arms out, palms face down. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the front leg, bring the arms together overhead, palms together. Exhale, bend into right knee, warrior 2 lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Keep drawing those inner thighs toward each other. Exhale, bend into right knee, warrior lunge. Continue with your own breath. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, we're following the middle finger of that left hand with the gaze. Work with the breath. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, releasing. One more here. Leaning back, inner warrior. From here, we're going to step that left foot until it's about 2 foot behind the front. We're going to bring the left hand to the waist, extend the right arm out in front, and then gently reach that right arm toward the ground out in front. So we're coming up onto the tippy toes of that left foot. Right hand is slightly to the outside of the right foot. Again, if you know already you need a block, place it. Take your time in these balance poses. We're going to lift the left foot off the ground. Engage the left toes toward the knee, so keep that leg nice and active. Again, lifting, drawing that left shoulder back. I know for myself, this side isn't feeling as steady, as comfortable as the other side. Again, if you need the block, use it. Get that little bit of extra height. Maybe take the gaze up toward the ceiling. See if you can lift the foot a little bit higher. And again, if it keeps coming down, keep coming up, okay? So we're just working into our balance here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently bend the right knee. We're going to slowly release that left foot back behind us into our warrior 2 legs. Slowly engaging the core, bringing those hands back to the waist. Extending both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. And then from here, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left foot. And when you're ready, gently stepping left foot up to meet right. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Take a drink. But you don't have to take a drink. I'm taking a drink. Okay. So our strong sequences are at the end. We're going to do a pose that what I did with you on Tuesday. And again, I love this pose so much. Great for balance, great for hips, great for heart, great for stabilizing. So we're going to come into our tree pose again tonight. So again, if you want to challenge it, you can stay on your mat. If your mat is quite squidgy, it's going to be a little bit harder to hold the balance. Mine's quite flat, so it's not going to make much of a difference. So we're going to start with our feet evenly placed, about hip width distance apart. We're going to rotate that right hip open, and we're going to rest the right heel just above the left ankle. And just notice here, we don't want the hips to shift to the right. We just want that right hip to open to the right. So those hip bones are still parallel to the front of the room, and we're engaging that right glute. So we should feel those glutes firing here already. If this feels good, we're going to bring that right foot to rest on the calf. And again, if this feels good, we might bring that right foot to rest on the upper inner thigh. So really press that right heel into the thigh into the heel to maintain that friction. Anywhere really apart from the knee. So we don't want our foot to be pressing laterally into that knee, okay? So either above or below. We're going to bring the hands to heart. Again, notice if the left hip is popped out a wee bit, you want to pop it back in. So keep those hips even. Find a point of focus, something out in front, a drishti point to fix your gaze. Bring in a little bit of stillness. So it could be an object. It could be where the ceiling meets the wall, where the wall meets the floor. So again, with our balance, to make it more challenging, we generally put the gaze up. To stabilize it, we generally bring the gaze down. And to really challenge it, we could close the eyes. If this feels good, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, open those arms out into our tree branches. We're going to press the index finger and thumb together, creating a little focus, a little energy mudra. Again, draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Notice if the ribs are flaring, see if we can engage those tummy muscles, really draw on the belly button in. And again, here, if you want to challenge the balance, you might sway your branches. You might close down the eyes. You might make less connection to the earth by coming up onto the ball of that left foot, so gently hovering the heel off the ground. You can just try it. If you come out, you come out, you can come back in. So again, we're in full control of our balance here. Hold it here, but not the breath. So really important that we breathe in our balance. Try to relax a little bit more with each exhale. Really finding those lower leg stabilizing muscles engage here. One more breath. And then gently we're going to bring the hands back to heart. Bring that right knee forward out in front, and then slowly release, let it go. We're going to shake that left foot out. So again, even just noticing how that left foot feels. So really good for strengthening those lower legs, feet, ankles, hips. Okay, coming back to center, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Again, we're going to rotate that left hip open. We're going to rest the heel just above the ankle. And again, just notice if we're twisting to the left. So hip bones are face forward. Notice if that right hip has popped out, we're going to pop it back in again. So we're trying to keep a nice even line all the time. If that feels good, we're going to bring the left foot to rest in the calf. Again, notice if the knee starts to come in, just drop the foot. So we want to maintain that space in the hip. And again, if that feels good, we might bring that left foot to the upper inner thigh. And again, continuing to work that left hip open. Hands to heart. Relax the breath. Really grounding that right foot into the mat, spreading through the toes. So feel the foundation of your tree here. Draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Again, soften the ribs, draw the belly button in. Find that drishti point, that point of focus. Fixing your gaze, calming your breath. And again, stay in here, or if you wish to go a little bit further, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, open those arms into our tree, pressing index finger and thumb together, drawing the chest forward, sinking those shoulder blades back. So again, as we press the finger and thumb together, we're creating a little energy mudra, a little energy line throughout the body. And again, another point of focus. Try not to hold the breath. If you want to challenge it, again, you might sway your branches. You might close down the eyes, or you might come up onto the ball of that right foot. Even if it's just for a couple of seconds, just really challenging that standing leg, bringing a little bit of focus to the movement for 3. Relax the breath for 2. And 1. Gently bring those hands back to heart. Slowly drawing the left knee forward, and then nice and easy release and let it go. We're going to shake that right foot out. Well done. Okay, we just have to flush those legs out. So one last little flow, gentle. So coming to the front of the mat, hands to heart. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gives forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. We can step or lightly jump back to plank, your choice. If we're jumping, we're landing as lightly as we can in our plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Last time, walk it out, nice and easy. Maybe bring a little swagger to the walk. Maybe look out underneath opposite armpits, get a nice little stretch into the side waist, right down into the hips. Or if you're totally over it, you can come straight into your child's pose. So again, just take the movement, maybe rock the head a little bit side to side, whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to stillness. Gently release down onto the knees. Untuck the toes, bring the toes to touch. Gently sit back toward the heels, making a little pillow by piling one hand or one fist on top of the other. And just take a couple of moments here. Notice how the body feels. Notice if we're holding tension. Could be in the body, could be in the face. Maybe we're frowning. Maybe we're clenching our jaws. Maybe we're clenching our fists. So just notice where the body's at. Allow the mind calm just for a couple of moments. Try to be where you are right now, in the moment, on your mat. When you're ready, we're going to gently press the hands into the ground. Tuck the chin into the chest and slowly walk the hands back toward the knees as we come to sit back up onto the heels. And we can either finish here or we can come back into our easy cross-legged or come to any other seated variation that feels good for you this evening. And we finish like we started with 3 nice active closing breaths. So again, sitting tall as we can, nice and strong. Open the palms, and when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, sigh the breath out through the lips, release and let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Nice big stretch as we inhale, and sigh it out as we exhale. Last one. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a little bit of space in your evening to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely energy, some great strength and stability, and hopefully take that with you into the evening and into the weekend ahead. And thank you as always for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.